Welcome back. Time to talk Bulldog hockey, and with us is head coach Bob Daniels. And coach, welcome back. Hard to believe another season of Ferris State hockey is here. Saturday night, the season opener against Michigan.
Yeah, you wonder where the summer went, and it's interesting as the guys came back in August, and at that time, boy, it seemed to go really slow up till where we're at now. But all of a sudden, you're like, wow, we're 5 days away from the drop of the puck, and really looking forward to the start of the season, Rob.
Quickly, let's go back to last year, and a tremendous season for the Bulldogs, winning the WCHA in the first season, reaching the Elite Eight. Just talk about, as you look back, about some of those accomplishments.
Well, going into the year, we were concerned, not from the standpoint of how our fans were going to react to us going into a different conference, and we had such great established rivals in the CCHA, and even though we moved with 4 other teams into the WCHA, we were nervous about it. And first and foremost, I was so happy with how well received. We had attendance record numbers last year, and that helped us to get to a point where we only lost 1 game at home the whole year, and we didn't lose a single game in conference. And I think that was really important to our team. And then obviously getting off to a quick start last season, we had a long unbeaten streak in there. I think it was 16-game unbeaten streak. It really eased our transition into the WCHA by winning the conference our first year in it. And then the NCAA tournament was terrific. It was a tough loss. It's always going to be a tough loss when you lose your final game, you get knocked out. But we made it to the regional finals, lost a double overtime game to North Dakota, in which we played exceedingly well. So realistically, it was a real successful year last year. And the key for us now is to be able to put it behind us and see what we can do now what can we do to validate that season by having another good season this year.
You turn the page forward this season. You start off on Saturday night against the Michigan Wolverines. And first of all, talk about the fan support, the crowd, sellout crowd already announced for Saturday's game and what that means.
It means a lot because, this time of the year, you've got the college football sports that are going on as well. You've got Tigers that are going to be in the playoffs. And to know that we've already sold that game out ahead of time, traditionally, it seems to usually take a weekend or 2 for people to get in the swing of hockey, and not this year. And what a great matchup right off the bat. I don't know, I haven't seen any national rankings yet, but it's possible we could have 2 top 15, maybe even 2 top 10 teams in the country going at it. And it's going to be interesting because we're going to go from 0 to 100 in one night. I mean, Michigan plays such an up-tempo game, and they play with such great speed. Red Berenson, the legendary coach there, who always has his teams very well prepared. It'll be a little odd, though, because both teams, I could just see a lot of mistakes early on. I could see this being a sloppy game between if you came back a month later, 2 teams that are going to be really, I think, pretty good hockey teams.
Bulldogs lost one of the most talented senior classes in school history last year, all-time winningest senior class. But talk about some of the new kids coming in, what you expect out of this year's freshman class as you look to replace some of those guys.
Well, our freshman class is going to be a little bit, in some ways it may be a lot like that class. What people remember is when they graduate, they remember that senior year. But a lot of times in respect, you look at Garrett Thompson or Corey Kane and Huff and DiMartino, they didn't come in with a bang necessarily. They developed into those players. And they were a good size class. In other words, they were all 6'1" or better, up to 6'4". And with that loss, we decided we needed to bring in some size again. And this freshman class has that. There's some really good size there, and there's some talent there. But it's not going to be like last year's freshman class that was able to step in and score. I think this is going to be a group that they'll play the rules early in their careers, they'll develop, and then they'll become name players. We'll wonder how we replace them when they become seniors. But, there's some talent there. Tyler Andrew, he's 6'6", I think, big forward for us. And I see some promise in him already, as well as Austin Kozak, a defenseman who, on any other team in the country, probably play a lot of minutes. And he probably will for us, but it'll take a little longer for him, just given the depth of our defensive core.
Start in terms of the returning players, obviously with C.J. Mott, goaltender last year, had a tremendous season. Talk about his return and him being a captain this season.
Yeah, that's unusual to have a goaltender as your captain, and For me, it's our first time we've ever had a goalie as a captain. I've seen it maybe once or twice in all the years I've been coaching collegiately. But CJ's the right guy. He's the perfect person for the job. It'll require a little bit of tweaking because obviously he won't be able to go up and talk to the referees during the course of the game, nor do we want him to. But anyways, he'll do a terrific job with that. Our back end, our defense, our goaltending is definitely the strength of our team. We return all our defensemen with the exception of Scott Zarnowski. Now that's a big loss, but we're also inserting in the lineup Simone Denis, who missed all last year due to injury. And Simone's a very good defenseman, and this will be year 3 for him. He's actually 4th year in the program, so in some respects we don't lose anything in the back end. And the question mark this year will be the same as it was a year ago. Hey, where is the offense going to come from?
In terms of the offense, in terms of the guys up front, you start with Justin Buzzio, one of your leading scorers last year. What do you expect out of those group of forwards?
Yeah, well, Justin Buzzio, Kenny Babinski, Matt Robertson. You look at those 3. Those are our juniors, seniors as well. Our juniors and seniors that should lead the way. We expect some. Justin Buzzio is our leading returning scorer. We expect a lot from him. But Matt Robertson's ready to break through. I think Kenny Babinski's ready to have a breakout year. And then that talented freshman class we had a year ago with Gerald Mayhew, Kyle Schemp, Chad McDonald, and Jared Van Wormer. Even though they're only sophomores, they're ready to start taking on some primary roles. So, again, I think early on the pressure is probably on the coaching staff more than the players to find the right chemistry. I think we've got the talent up front to score, but now it's going to be, hey, how are we going to put this all together to get the most out of them? And as they move into new roles, some of them, and now they're prime time players, we've got to make sure we've got the right fit of people and the right roles. And it might take us a little while to get to that point.
This Michigan game, a non-conference game, but one of several big non-conference games for your team this year. How do these games, how do these types of games help prepare you for WCHA play?
Well, this game will be a big help. I mean, the speed at which this game will be played for an early season game will be mind-boggling in some respects. Then we play 2 against a tough St. Lawrence, but we're really happy with our non-conference schedule. We've got 2 games at Wisconsin. We've got this game with Michigan. We have 2 at Michigan State, and then we play the GLI, which has got Michigan, Michigan State, and Michigan Tech in it. So if you look at our non-conference schedule, I would stack that up against anyone in the country, and I think that's good. I think that makes us a better team, and it does help us prepare for really a very demanding WCHA.
Well, Coach, looking forward to the season opener Saturday night against the University of Michigan. Sellout crowd on hand, and best of luck to the Bulldogs.
Thanks a lot, Rob.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.